All the pain that I went through got me dealing with some issues. But all I need some weed, I don't even need a tissue. You came at me floss, so like a teacher, I dismiss you. You won't get saved by the bell, and we ain't gon' miss you. So did you really think that I was gonna sell out when I did 3 years in a motherfucking jailhouse? Treat us like the banks, what we need is a bailout. You can't do that, pack your bags and get the hell out. Cause we ain't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us, in case you forgot. We were people with our own plans, and we were held captive on our own land.
HOH, Rico.
Cold-blooded, cold-hearted. These niggas out here spitting cold garbage. Better yet, hot garbage. Them niggas really need to stop it. But I'm coming here to shed light on some shit that you don't wanna hear, but it got to be clear. I mean, you know, yeah. I'm coming all the way from Pluto, 3,600 years just to get to this. So I'ma sit down and just talk my shit. Going on the Triple H, they say I'm lucky, but when I go, I bet it all. I'm saying fuck it, did my due diligence. I'm tired of niggas claiming ignorance is innocence. This shit repent. Why? Because you know better. It's in your DNA, you don't need no letter of the law. You know what it is and you choose to be flawed. It ain't no excuses, I'ma give it to you raw. But you don't like this sushi, you'd rather nail me to the cross, execute me. I don't pay attention to the rumors that are spewing. I don't care what Tom, Dick, and Harry's out there doing. Pursuing greatness. Motherfucker face it. Ain't nothing about my talent or my swagger that is basic. The Matrix, I reloaded, resurrected, coded. Sitting with the architect, smoking on an opus. I woke up and found out that I was on my own. I woke up to find out they cloned Tyrone. On the block with the work, they cloned Tyrone. Every Sunday in church, they cloned Tyrone. I woke up and found out that I was on my own. I woke up to find out they cloned Tyrone. Hit each other with the sticks, they cloned Tyrone. Treat our queens like a bitch, they clone Tyrone. I'm the hood style llama, the rap game Obama. Escobar ain't had shit on Purdue Farmer. Who cracked the Oxycontin, now that's some real karma. Crack got my daddy, but them pills got your mama. iPhone, don't call my phone. Talking reckless, I know they clone Tyrone. My OG, Slick Charles, look at me like I'm Fontaine. Got in tune with my higher self and killed the old man. It's in the chicken, it's in the fucking chicken. Finger licking, goddamn chicken. Bring the hood together, now we space age pimpin'. Going underground for our women and our children. Smoke a cigarette and pop a bill. Look around, I knew that they were trapping down here. Raise the kids, look after the missus. Headed to the Apex, see you all in Memphis. Y'all already know what it is. If you don't, need to find out. Seriously. But I digress. Now let the hook ride. 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 Let's let the hook ride. Let's let the hook ride. Let's let the hook ride. Slide, 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 slide. I woke up and found out that I was on my own. I woke up to find out they cloned Tyrone. On the block with the work, they cloned Tyrone. Every Sunday in church, they cloned Tyrone. I woke up and found out that I was on my own. I woke up to find out they cloned Tyrone. Hit each other with the sticks, they cloned Tyrone. Treat our queens like a bitch, they cloned Tyrone.
What to do, good people? Welcome to the show.
Salute to everybody that was a part of that. I get it. We clone the hell out of each other.
Why not go live? It's a good Friday night to go live. I don't do this often.
Let's take a break. Nah, fuck a break.
Nah, we ain't taking no breaks. All gas, no breaks over here. All gas, no breaks. Welcome to KDTV.
Rico.
Welcome to KDTV, good people. I'm your host, Keith Daniel. I don't do this often, man. Matter of fact, I don't think I ever went live. You know, I just pre-create, then put the videos out here. But, I got to start getting out here in these live streets, live commentary. And I got a good one for you tonight. I know the title says Rod Hayes, IG Live. The video that I was actually looking at, he was talking about a channel that he got from some kids or whatnot. But then I ran across another video that I think is a little bit more interesting. And the title of that IG Live that Roy did was All Roads Lead to Rome. All right. Now, I hope you have been safe, productive, and blessed. Like I said, man, this is my first live, really. So bear with me. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm going to share my screen. Let's go and get into it. Ain't no need in playing around with it. Let's get it.
So I'm gonna do a couple invites. This gonna be a short live because I'm waiting on the ride. I'm supposed to be going to finish working on the documentary we doing. So do these invites because y'all need to get in here, share this motherfucking information. We need to be aware of what's going on, right? And there's a lot of dirt being covered. I need y'all to be aware of it. So I'm gonna do some invites, and then I'm gonna start giving y'all these updates. The updates is predicated up on the change of power. I don't know, for some of y'all remember me saying that all roads lead to Rome. That's what my father used to say. And when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Well, we ain't in Rome, so we doing what the organics do, the original people of the land. And that is to keep everybody, each one teach one. We all got to reach some. We got some shit going on today. Boy, this motherfucker coming in hot. When I tell you shit coming in hot, this shit coming in hot. Right? So I got a couple of key critical messages to drop on y'all. And then later on tonight, I'm gonna come back and me and Veronica are gonna do a live on tarot and tuning in the frequency of the oracle readers. Right? So but I gotta first go over here and do this documentary with Brother Hicks. So this is a powerful day today for the Earth people. We returning to power in what you call grandiose fashion. They calling this the beginnings of World War III, but it's not going to be a World War III. It's just going to be what we call cleanup time.
Hey, just for clarity, this video was recorded July 10th, 2022. All right, so this was 2 years ago.
Right. And in order to clean this shit up, we have to know what the problem is, who behind it, where they at. And then we got to read the messages in order to see what's taking place in real time. So I'm going to do a couple more invites. I'm done. All right. So I got y'all. Rome is burning. Right. Rome is burning. Next, after Rome falls, the next thing to happen is London bridges is falling down, being announced to the public. I'm looking at that being 7/11 because 7/11 is 9/11 because September means 7, the 7th month. So when we talk the 7th month as July, they got our time frames mixed up. So 7/11, we looking at what's about to take place. America. Now, this is something that's so minute and minuscule, but it's such a massive meaning to it. President, cartoon president Joe beard in. Joe got his beard in Barcelona, Spain. Now, why in the fuck is the American Senate and president meeting in Barcelona, Spain? Who the fuck is Barcelona, Spain? And what the fuck they got to do with what's going over here? Remember, I told y'all the dirty Moors got kicked out of Europe. They stronghold was Spain. When the Paris Accord, that's in France, which Putin also released statements today, giving coordinates to key locations in France, Spain, and the United States as central places of power. These positions of power are targets. So if you in DC, my advice to you is don't be close to that shit that's where the White House at, because that motherfucker's coming to get leveled any day. I don't know if it's a controlled demolition, a bomb. I don't know if it's an energy weapon, a pulse blast. I don't know. It could be a earthquake or a lightning storm. But now we starting to see come to the surface the shit that was being done in the background being exposed by literal attacks. Today is 710. 710 is 70. 70 is GO. That means go. All systems go on the reclamation of the land by the organic people. Read these signs, y'all. This shit is serious, right? Watch what they doing and watch what's burning. It ain't just wrong. The last couple of days you've been seeing, but most people not paying attention. The other organic people in different countries is making power moves to reclaim their shit back from those rogue governments all over the earth. So you seeing the upset of the system as we restructure and rebalance and roll out a new system. The old system of tyranny, secrecy, oppression, subjugation, slavery, human trafficking, sex trafficking, child trafficking, adrenochrome, harvesting, warmongering, all that shit about to come to a screeching halt.
Hey, I don't know if y'all watched the football game yesterday, the Chiefs and the Ravens, right? It was something very interesting that I saw in that game, and it started at the beginning. If you were paying attention, man, if you had your eyes on the TV and you had the eyes to see and the ears to hear, bro, do you understand that they sung the Black National Anthem first at that game? Before they went to the original national anthem, and they sung that like 10 or 15 minutes afterwards. But the first anthem that they sung for the game last night was the Black National Anthem. Think about that. See, it's signs. Like Roy say, you got to pay attention. If you are paying attention, bro, they throw signs out there. Now, he's talking about this 2 years ago, talking about the flipping of the government. We going from a concealed government of secrecy to a more transparent government of the people. And then on top of that, fast forward 2 years, and now here we are watching the NFL game, and we see the Black National Anthem being sung. Remember, this is the same NFL that was tripping on Colin Kaepernick kneeling during the national anthem. This is the same NFL that said we just need to shut up and play football. This same NFL, but now all of a sudden, here we are hearing the Black National Anthem sung before the original national anthem that we all are accustomed to hear. Now, if that ain't a sign, then what do you call that?
But y'all have to be aware of what's taking place, or else you're going to get caught in the mix of some shit that don't got nothing to do with you. Let them motherfuckers clean this shit up. The rest of it don't got nothing to do with us. Let them stay out their way. Let them clean it up. They going to show you the difference between a righteous Moor and a dirty Moor by the moves of these explosive events. It's all here. It's on the floor, people. This ain't no test. This real time. Yep. Sri Lanka, the Dutch is in Denmark. What else? Where else you say? Italy. Yep. Italy is where Rome is. All this shit is coming down, crashing on the heads of the adverse forces. Now, there is data that's being rolled out in real time. And this is why we keep getting caught up in the situation we in, because we wouldn't pay attention to the data, and there was nobody that did pay attention enough to tell the people so we can effectuate the required actions in order to draw the change out of the events. But we here now.
Facts.
It's not personal. It's just family business. In the organic families of the earth, we all family. And we might fight amongst each other, but I promise you this, we'll burn this bitch down, get us
Get
pissed. That's from pole to pole, from prime meridian to prime meridian. Ain't no motherfucking amnesty this time. See, under the old systems and the old rulers of the world, all you had to do was give up somebody righteous, and then the righteous of the blood of the righteous shall not be spilled in vain. So when you sacrifice somebody righteous, you was free to do your dirt on their blood. That shit over with on this watch. We don't accept sacrificing the others in order for you to come up. Any sacrifice that somebody did of another person for personal and selfish gain is about to backfire in their face and blow their ass out the water.
Hey, y'all put it in the chat, man. Where you from? Where you tapping in from, man? If you tuned in, put it in the chat. Let me know where you from, man. Let's try a book.
Mama said, Big Mama always said, right is right and wrong is wrong. And just because a motherfucker look like they wrong, if they doing the right thing, you can't contest that. Sometime in order to do what's right, you got to upset the motherfucking peace to establish justice. That's what the Moorish saints told me. Sometime you got to upset the peace to establish justice. Fact. Push them motherfuckers over in their comfortable ass easy chairs, them armchair revolutionary motherfuckers.
Oh, man, what the fuck just happened?
So I'm going to do a couple invites. This going to be a short live because I'm waiting on the ride. I'm supposed to be going to finish working on the documentary.
Damn, it rewound on me.
Do these invites.
Again, what Rob was saying is real, man. Like you can't make an omelet unless you crack a few eggs. Point blank, period. And at the end of the day, you know, even with this video right here, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be able to catch the spot that I fell off on. So I'm gonna pick up on another video, but I do want to expound on what he's saying. Like, remember, man, this was 2 years ago, y'all. 2 years ago when what he was saying. Now, over these last 4 years that, you know, President Biden has been in office or what, now we can really sit down and see that things have not been the same, period. Ain't nothing been the same. Like, if you think government is moving the way that government was moving when we were teenagers, if you my age, you know, I'm 44 years old. So if you were my age and you remember how government was moving when we were teenagers and young adults, this ain't the same government, period. It's something different. You see what I'm saying? And again, when you're looking at how we moving out here as tribes and people on the land, like we're really in a situation where we're governing ourselves. However, we're just a little bit too divided. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can't agree on shit. Like, we FBA, we're Hebrew Israelites, we're indigenous to the land, we're ADOS, we're Pan-African. And I ain't knocking nobody for taking their stance and identifying the way they identify. The thing is like, we're in a situation right now to where we got a free check that we can write if we can just agree. If we can lose all the subdivisions that we have right now and we can just agree, man, ain't no telling what we can accomplish. It ain't no telling what we can do because we're here now. When I heard that Black National Anthem last night, I said, shit, boy, we here. Like something done changed. It's been a lot of things. Even with the wreath laying on the tomb of the unknown soldier a few years ago, that was symbolic. Like, I really and truthfully think that behind the scenes, we probably can't put our finger on what's happening. But truth being told, y'all, we in power. It's just the fact that we need enough of the people on the land to wake up and actually see what's going on and be in tune with this. I ain't against a person being entertained, but we got to be informed too. It got to be a balance to this. We can't be so caught up on stimulating ourselves with entertainment to the point where we don't want to be informed. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I fucked that up with that last video. That's my apologies, but we're gonna jump into another one over here because Rod, his IG lives, they are a treasure chest of jewels. So I'm just gonna tap this one right here and we're gonna get into it and see what he's talking about on this one.
Definitely wonder.
there you go.
Being played in the background and the
And he labeling this when his receipt drop. So if he dropping a receipt, you know it's about to go down on this one. But we can't hear him. And you know how they play with their lives and things of that nature. So I can't hear him on this one. Shit. Let's go to another one.
Part 2 to right is right and wrong is wrong.
All right, so he said the title of this one is right and wrong is wrong. Let's dive in and listen to what Big Chief got to say on this one, man.
It'll be roughly about 30 minutes. And while I do my invites for this one, I'm going to tell y'all the motivator. I was watching my sister, Dr. G, and she was talking to a Moorish sister whose name wasn't up in the clip that was sent to me. And Dr. G was upset because a Moorish sister, had posted a collage that said false prophets. And she seen a picture of Noble Drew Ali in there. And Dr. G was explaining that she didn't think the girl made it, but that to have Noble Drew Ali listed with the false prophets was disrespectful, and they really don't understand. So now this takes me back to conversations that I had with Moors, and a lot of people think I'm anti-Moor, but I'm anti-dirty Moor. As I said many times before, I studied under Moors that I got an immense amount of respect for. I learned civics from Taj Tariq Bey. He's been teaching the same thing redundantly for the last 50 years. And Larry Hoover been fighting to get out of prison for the last 50 years. And our people been sitting on their hands, twiddling their thumbs, walking around on their motherfucking elbows, doing nothing. So I got to speak up. Big Mama said, right is right and wrong is wrong. And when I see Dr. G come to defense of Noble Drew Ali, I didn't know who the other sister was, but she would have appreciated just the same because she understands the Moorish doctrine a little deeper than the average person. First of all, you have to understand that a prophet to me that changed my life can be to somebody else classified as a false prophet if they feel that person didn't change their life the way they changed mine. Perception is key. The things I learned from Noble Drew Ali gave me a set of specific instructions on how to reclaim our land and how to be civics. I think a lot of people took Moorish doctrine and they kept the dogma, but they didn't read the science part. The science part is more important. And if you don't understand the lingo of the land of the chiefs, then Noble Drew Ali is talking jargon to you, and you ain't gonna never figure out what he was saying until you get to a certain level of knowledge. When you get to that certain level of knowledge, then you can see that what he was doing. Now remember, Noble Drew Ali said, I gotta leave these in power long enough for you to learn how to run a government. How long do it take for us to learn how to run a government? Do it take 20 years? Did it take 50? Now you got to remember our level of illiteracy coming into the 60s. Now remember, Noble Drew Ali came in the early 1900s, 1912, 13, 14, up to 1929. And in that era, our level of education, our intellects had not been developed from being barred from any form of education. We wasn't allowed to read, write, pass messages. We wasn't allowed to whistle because the whistles would carry signs in the whistles. That's why they killed uh, Chief Littlehorn, Emmett Till. The whistle is powerful in our community when you get a master that's trained at an early age on how to use the whistle, because he can do shit to make you move. But we don't want to know about that part of our culture because they told us it was evil, when it's actually our strongest and most powerful defense system. So as long as you don't use your natural defense system, you can't never get free from an unnatural force. Remember that. This is why we had to go to our oral traditions. Taj told y'all, as he's assimilating the fact that the contract is up and reviewing civics, he got like 70 years of civics to review in order to see clearest the best path from a civics perspective on how to, because this shit over with. And that's why he say a lot of the stuff that we used to do, we not going to be doing that anymore. It's obsolete now. So when we talk about nationality, it was absolutely necessary in 1912, 13, 14, because that is the only way where we could be educated in how to navigate the contract. And some of the people that was teaching how to navigate the contract found out how to turn it into a money-making scheme. And just like right now, everybody blame Larry Hoover for 50 years of gangster disciple terror. They blame Noble Jew Ali for the false prophets that came in his name, calling themselves the reincarnations of Noble Jew Ali. But you would have knew if they was the reincarnated Noble Jew Ali, because that mean that the effect would have had to been 10 times more powerful than he was the time before. That means that he would have been here to overthrow this government, and that he would have been successful, because the only way he would have came back, by the way the literature set up, is if he's coming back to take these people out of power.
Now, this is the problem that I have with folks, especially with our folks. You know what I mean? We, due to the fact of us not agreeing with a certain messaging that comes from our predecessors and our ancestors that came before us, we tend to lash out at it. We tend to say, oh, this wasn't it, or this a false prophet, or they led us down the wrong path. And it's like, bro, when you understand the debauchery that was thrown on us, like, it took all of them. It took everybody that came before us that did what they did. Even though it might not, when you look at it in hindsight, it might not have been the best thing then, but in that time when they were living, they really thought that they were doing the right thing. Even if they came to the assumption later on that, damn, man, I made a misstep, this, that, and the third. Man, we can't just sit here and throw the baby away with the bathwater, man. Like, it's levels to this. This is a process. Even right now, like, are we in a position as a people right now to be able to say that we can pull out of this system that we got and be okay and make our own system and things of that nature? Are we really though? Man, we can't even agree on who we want to be. We can't even agree on what we're going to call ourselves. We got 5 or 6 subdivisions when it comes to the copper colored people of this land. So, I mean, it's levels to it. I mean, even like with Rod right now doing what he do, people like me that's getting on here, legendary top cats, Dane Calloway, and a plethora of others. Like, this is just the next step in the process, and we got to trust the process. But what we can't do is continue to degrade the people that came before us in getting us here. Like, we got to kill that. We got to stop that, because it ain't really doing us no good. It ain't bringing us together. It's keeping us separated. I digress.
And when you go back and study the movement, you find that it was a lot of guys that called themselves the reincarnation of Noble Drew Ali, but they never took these people out of power. So when I see the sisters reviewing the information, to don't try to convince them motherfuckers that Noble Drew Ali was a prophet. Just tell them exactly what he said. Tell them, if you doubt that I'm a prophet, watch my prophecy and leave it at that. Because he said that when we learned how to run the government, he was going to send somebody to take these motherfuckers out of power. He didn't say it directly. He gave inference when he said, I'm going to leave these people in power long enough for you to learn how to run a government. Right? Now, some of the lessons that we've learned over the years, if you watch the Nation of Islam, what did we learn? We learned how to set up an infrastructure with a paramilitary defense mechanism that can make us self-sufficient and independent of the system at large. That's a powerful step to learning to run a government. Also, business has to be at a certain level of understanding in government because everything is bulk, right? And everything is done with, it's supposed to be done with the taking care of the people first. The first thing you're supposed to do with any wealth of any government, nation, country, whatever you want to call it, the first order of business is secure the people. Make sure that the people taken care of, and that way the people will take care of their system that takes care of them. This is what we call a righteous government. But when you have a government that's exploiting the people, and they actually a corporation masquerading as a government that requires you to be a straw man in order for them to abuse you in any capacity they see fit, that's not a righteous government. That is a artificial AI operating, masquerading as a government. It is a corporation that's set up on an interim basis until we learn how to run the government. I believe with the manpower that we have currently in our communities, that we can run the fuck out of a government more efficiently, more organically, and more friendly to the people of the government, where we no longer need this government. So if Noble Drew Ali's calculation, if his math, if his Moorish paradigm is correct, you're going to see this government fall in short order. It has to, because the civics told us if we become competent in law and that we understand the unum sanctum decrees, the papal bulls, and that we understand that what took place in Cuba with Noble Drew Ali and C. Kirkman Bey, then all we have to do is have the blood of the organic people of the land and the right to speak up and exercise that shit. That's what the civics teach. This is what Taj be telling you over and over, that this is a de facto corporation operating in what's that shit called? Salvage law, admiralty jurisdiction. All of the admiralty jurisdiction falls under Uniform Commercial Code. The nationalities that we needed in 1913 was to make us not be under the legal fiction, the corporation, and to break us free from it. But somebody infiltrated, one of them dirty Moors infiltrated and tied you right back into the system behind Noble Drew Ali back. And a lot of us didn't see it, and a lot of us don't seriously study the civics, because that shit is a fucking headache. When you start translating all of this legalese shit and seeing what these people is really doing, it's a headache. So when I hear motherfuckers tell me Noble Drew Ali was a false prophet, I just scoff at them. Really? I bet these people won't be in power. And I bet that the work Noble Drew Ali did is equally as instrumental in overthrowing these motherfuckers as any motherfucker with boots on the ground today.
See, when he say like these folks won't be in power, man, I kind of feel that. Like I feel that in my bone marrow. Because let's talk about today. Again, man, this was July 10th, 2022 when Rod made this video. So this was 2 years ago, right? It is now September 6, 2024. And we are in an election year. And being in this election year, what I'm hearing from people, especially in this situation right here, is you got Kamala Harris, right? And the only thing that people telling me is, well, she ain't telling us what she gonna do for us. She ain't got no policy. Hell, I used to be one of them people like, I want to hear policy, this, that, and the third. But think about what he's saying right now. If what he's saying is true, because he's talking scientifically enough for me to, you know, put a couple dollars on that bet. You see what I'm saying? Like, if he's, let's just think what he's saying is true. How could she tell us what the policy is if she's not the person writing the policy? Seriously speaking, even if you go over there on the Donald Trump side, he ain't telling you what he's gonna do. He's hanging his hat on shit he said 4 years ago. And again, you want to sit here and say that what he did in 2016 to 2019 was great, but at the same time, that ain't the same Trump you gonna get in 2024. This nigga done been through hell. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. So if these folks ain't in control, and if what we're seeing is basically a soap opera, what are we gonna do? Now, I know how, you know, bro Rod stand. And that's where I think our roles kind of parted, especially for 2024, because I look at everything symbolically. And I really feel like these people are just figureheads that they give us. But one figurehead is just more of the same. Seriously speaking, since 1776, with the exception of one president, the only thing that we have been given was an old rich white man. I'm talking about, seriously, stop me when I'm lying. But the other candidate that we got right now in 2024 is a person that check all the boxes. Middle age, no matter how you identify on this land, African American or Indian, check both boxes. She ain't super rich. We don't identify with her as that. And it's a woman. And we talk about this big mama energy, this divine feminine energy. Like at face value, seriously speaking, she check all the boxes. I understand Democratic Party done us wrong. We don't have no trust in it. They take us for granted, this, that, and the third. However, if what Rod is saying right now is true, that means it's a whole new regime behind this system. And maybe, just maybe, we need to trust it, because it's like the military compartmentalization. Us out here in the social sectors, in this woke community of YouTube, we doing what we do. This is our job. But we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. That's what you call compartmentalization. But if they working behind the scenes, just like we working out here on the front lines, maybe we own to something. I'm just saying, I ain't telling you which way to vote. That ain't my job. Like Diane say, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm just here to make you think.
And he ain't here. See, this is protracted struggle. Protracted struggle is that which is drawn out over a long period of time in order to effectuate the best result. And anybody that don't understand what Noble Drew Ali was talking about is easily contentious when you challenge it. They become contentious because the codes and the doctrine is going over their head. They seeing them, but they don't know what they mean, and they don't know how to translate them. because it's not meant for everybody to know everything. We on different levels in different lanes. If we all try to do this,
did I just not say that? Compartmentalization. Everything ain't meant for everybody to know. If that was the case, everybody would know everything. That's why the military works so efficiently. You don't need to know how to put on a tire if you are in charge of the motor. You see what I'm saying? Like, the carburetor does what it does, the radiator does what it does, the damn spark plugs do what they do, the gaskets do what they do. But as long as all those different parts are doing what it's supposed to do, the damn car gonna run just fine.
same part, then we will never get no fucking where. Everybody got to take a piece that they know how to solve. And then somebody got to come along and sew that shit together and make a whole tapestry from the multiple pieces across the land. That's how, when I be talking and shit, I be reading it. And it's the same as reading the tarot card. And it's the same as reading runes. But you have to train yourself to see it. And the work that's required to train yourself to see it, most of us are too busy with a day-to-day struggle to do that level of work to see what's taking place in front of us energetically, and we can only see the illusion that's painted to cover the energetic system used to suck us dry.
Boy, he said something there. See, we caught up in this quasi system. Quasi meaning that it is, but it ain't. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're literally caught up in this right now. We're caught up with the same old go along to get along mentality because this is all we know. But it's quasi. I mean, it is, but in reality, it ain't. And the ones that have the eyes to see, myself, brothers like Rod, you know what I mean, and a plethora more of us that's out here, we're trying to put the pieces to the puzzle together in order to show you exactly what's really going on. You see what I'm saying? Because it's hitting different right now. Again, however, the division part of it right now is my concern. It's like, once we get past this certain bottleneck point in time, we can go back to having these challenges, these debates on what it is and what it ain't, or how we gonna classify ourselves and why you stand on these points. We can get back to that. But right now, we got to understand that, boy, this shit hit different. And the opposition, the ones that's trying to hold on to their positions of power and wealth that has been handed down, because it ain't them that did the shit. It's their forefathers. Just like it ain't us that went through the detriment and the abuse. It was our ancestors. You see what I'm saying? We cool with making amends. It's that other side that's positioning themselves to maintain the shit that they got when they got it fraudulently. You see what I'm saying? And we ain't even trying to say, okay, you got to give us all that, but don't position yourself in the point to, well, in 2020, Biden passed a DEI executive order, diversity, equity, and inclusion executive order. And then in 2023, you got 30 different states that bucked the executive order. They bucked the executive order of DEI with legislation in their own states for anti-DEI. Now, this is how you know that the government ain't the government that we grew up in. How you buck an executive order signed by the president? How you do that and get away with it? This the first time I'm hearing about it like that. I'm serious. Like, this the first. You shouldn't be able to do that unless something's going on that we ain't privy to know about. But if you got the eyes to see, you can see it. Like, man, something ain't right. And again, last night, Thursday night football, first game of the NFL season, the Chiefs playing the Ravens. What do we get? The Black National Anthem, song first, before you went to the original national anthem that we always hear. Let those who have eyes see clearly.
But somewhere along the line, we gonna all wake up as a people. And we gonna stop telling people, Paige Flowers, my girl, she could tell me whatever she want to tell me. She could come in here and talk to y'all if she want to. Let me see if she got an invite. No. I can't see all of the comments because my comment ticker is not rolling as I go down them. Somebody asked what we gonna do to get they being cleaned up down in real time. It's just a lot of that shit is being slanted in the news stories to make y'all think it's something other than what it is.
It seems like he going in the question and answer mode right here. You know. So I'm gonna cut it off right there, man. Listen. Over here, we entertain thoughts without accepting them. You know what I mean? We have that intellectual capacity. I think everything is worth a conversation. I think it's very imperative for our folks to actually get to a point to where we start being open to different types of dialogue and start looking at things a little bit differently instead of continually to get along with certain things. And we have to be tolerant of each other's opinions too. You know what I mean? That's the most important part. It's not the part of saying that, okay, I'm standing on this, or, you know, the next person saying, oh, I'm standing on that. It's just the point of understanding where we all are. And regardless of how we identify, we still got to have this common thread that we pull on. The common thread is that we all here on this land. We all here living in this country. We can all agree that when it comes to systematic things, when it comes to history, when it comes to the nature of who we are, we've been done wrong. You see what I'm saying? However, we got to figure it out as a collective, because the choices and the decisions that happen right now, it just don't affect us. It affects a lot of people on the land. You see what I'm saying? And with that being said, I just want you to think about and ponder on that thought. For all the few of y'all that tuned in, I really appreciate it. This was my first time going live, so of course it was going to be some hiccups and things of that nature, but I appreciate you just staying there with me and fighting through these trenches with me. It means a lot. As I continue to go live, content will get better. Please like, share, and subscribe to the page, man. I'm just here to help. It ain't even all about recognition. It ain't about, you know, beating yourself on the chest saying you coming with this information. It's just trying to, you know, be a proper leader out here, helping my folks identify with what's holding us back so we could be a better member of this thing that we call the human race. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, be safe, be productive, be blessed. Until we meet again, good people. Peace.